Impact Interview is sponsored by the Pocono Mountains, where small town charm meets big adventures. Book your trip today by visiting PoconoMountains.com.
Welcome back to Nittany Game Week. It's time for our Impact Interview. This week's guest is Jordan Norwood, and here's the list of credentials. It's impressive. Two-time Big Ten champion, finished his career as Penn State's third all-time leading receiver, played 8 years in the NFL, most notably with the Browns and the Broncos, where he won the Super Bowl and set the record for longest punt return in Super Bowl history. Jordan, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
All right. Well, look, you moved to Penn State and went to high school and state college when your dad became an assistant coach for the Nittany Lions. This week, you and your family reconvene in Happy Valley. And look, you have a rooting interest both ways, right? Your dad is on the coaching staff for UCLA. So what kind of emotions do you think will hit you, your family, and everyone involved with this particular matchup?
It'll be an emotional one. We're all excited to back up to State College. It's been a while for everyone. I think this is my dad's first time coaching back at State College against Penn State. I'll be there in my Nittany Lion attire, and I can't speak for the rest of the family, but we're all excited.
You were not one of those 4 or 5-star guys that everybody wants, but certainly there was one coach in the country that thought you were a 5-star in his mind. But when you got here, you teamed up with another under-the-radar guy, Dion Butler. So both of you guys ended up in the NFL. What advice would you give to guys coming up with big dreams of their own?
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right. Myself and Dion were both, kind of undersized wide receivers that, bunked up. We were roommates our freshman year, along with Derek Williams and Justin King. And I think that was a big part of it, honestly, Jay, was having guys around us that encouraged us and just, reaffirmed our, own thoughts that we can do this and that we belonged at this level of football. Actually, the previous wide receiver coach at Penn State before I got there, Kenny Carter, during one of the summer camps at Penn State, he pulled me aside and said, "Jordan, you can play at this level." And so that was like one of those moments in my life where as a 5'9", 150-pound wide receiver in high school, I was like, okay, I mean, if Kenny Carter's telling me that I'm good enough, then maybe I am. So, it takes a little bit of perseverance and your own willpower, but it also takes some good people around you and great coaches and teammates that are encouraging you to keep going.
Well, Jordan, you torched our secondary playing against you. You made us better, but you did get us quite a few times, and it did get Coach Paterno a little upset sometimes. But you played with Michael Robinson. You won a Big Ten title at Penn State in 2005. Then you were part of the 2008 Spread HD with offense with Daryl Clark that won another Big Ten title in 2008. How much fun was it playing with those guys and in that system?
Oh, man, so much fun. 2005 as youngsters, just kind of figuring out, what the cap was going to be on our talent, on our team. Having great leadership there with Michael Robinson was incredible. I mean, obviously we had a really great football team, but, just a lot of fun to do that as freshmen for myself, Dion Butler, Derek Williams. Our whole freshman class, honestly, but Justin King, Lydell, just a chance to see firsthand what we could do, and then all the way, kind of grow towards 2008 in that Spread HD and set the stage for, kind of a new era of Penn State football that looked a little different. Just an honor to, to be a part of those teams and win some football games.
Jordan, I'm fortunate to come from a big family, really close-knit, and things sometimes can get competitive. It could be at a Christmas game. It could be at whatever. But look, your family is next level, all right? You got you winning a Super Bowl. Your brother Gabe was in the Final Four with George Mason. Your brother Levi won the Big 12 title at Baylor, and your brother-in-law Michael Taylor won a World Series with the Nationals. Is it basketball pickup games? Is it Monopoly? Give us an inside look at your family, at when the competitive juices start flowing the most when you all get together.
It's when a basketball rolls out on the court. I mean, that's for sure. That's when the hard fouls come out, the emotion, and it's always been that way. I mean, for my older brother and I, we're a year apart. That started when we were 4 and 5 years old playing on the, the little Tykes hoops. I mean, I was usually the one that would end up crying at the end of the game. But, that's definitely what a big part of what built me is those competitive moments in the family. My younger brother, Zach, is also a 6'5", lanky hooper. So we roll the ball out and play 21. Somebody still might end up crying at the end of that.
So Jordan, let's shift a little bit off the field. While you were here at Penn State, you were really a great student. How much demands of this program and the life lessons you learned at Penn State helped you both as an NFL player and certainly in your professional life?
It's invaluable. Not only the education that I got at Penn State. I got my degree in advertising there and was a Spanish minor. But even beyond the education itself, it's just the relationships and the professors that you kind of take for granted, and counselors and football staff and coaches, everybody in the football office. A whole lot of relationships that I carry with me and have a chance to reconnect with this weekend. And there's just so much value in the university, the alumni network, that's really enabled me to succeed off the field, I would say.
Well, Jordan, let me ask you, you got any last-minute wishes to put on the pads and play for PSU this weekend against the Bruins?
Oh man, wishes. I don't know if wishes is the right word. I did like a halftime flag football game at the Cleveland Browns game last week, and I lasted all of the 3 minutes that we played, and not a second more. So I don't think I got the juice in the tank.
Really appreciate Jordan taking time for us to be our impact interview. We have much more at NittanyGameWeek.com, including his answer to being a freelance photographer. Really, really interesting stuff. We need to step aside from the TV show for a quick break. Make sure you go to NittanyGameWeek.com for the entire conversation with Jordan Norwood, along with our other web-exclusive content, like our depth chart and Nittany Game Week podcast.